מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים שבת אחיות גם יחד. How good it is, how sweet it is, to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is, to be together on this day. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achiyot gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achiyot gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achayot gam yachad. Hine ma tov, yai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai. Hine ma tov, yai dai 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 dai. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achayot gam yachad. Hine ma tov, yai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai. Hine ma tov, yai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achayot gam yachad.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Wow, that was good. That was really good. Welcome everybody to our special Jews and baseball service. I want to just say to our committee. Our committee is Doug Stark and Leslie Katz and Anna Kane and Michelle Gonzalez.
I think I'm missing somebody else. Was there somebody else who was part of the committee? All of you.
All of you. And all of you for coming. But you know, some months ago, Doug Stark and I, if you haven't met Doug Stark, Doug, raise your hand. There he is. He's got that great jersey on. Doug came to me and said, I have an idea. Let's do this. And then he and I talked some, and it was like, great, I love it. That's how things happen, right? Because you have an idea, and you want to share it, and then we say, all right, we're really open to this notion, and it's really beautiful. And all of you have embraced this with such enthusiasm, and so very, very thrilled. Michelle, oh, she's probably outside, because like she's doing... Michelle just did this amazing, amazing work as grilling and her family. It's like beautiful. So thank you, Michelle. And Anna Kane, like, Anna, are you here? Anna's probably outside also doing work. But Anna Kane, like, arranged for us to have these cups, right? And Amy Moss, raise your hand, right there. Amy teaches our second and third graders. And Amy did all those fantastic pretzels. She baked them.
They were delicious.
They were so good. I had like one little bit.
Who's ever been to a pre-neg before? Right?
Right. It's like a
Kinda
great idea. And who
like
came up with that name, by the way?
Kind of like the pitch clock in baseball.
Yeah.
Sometimes innovations can be good. Maybe.
Maybe. All right. I must tell you that the life of a rabbi can be filled with sadness and being with people at very difficult times, but it also can be filled with incredible joy. And I have been working with Danielle Sanfilippo for the past 9 months or so, roughly, and how fantastic it has been to teach you, Danielle. Danielle had her Beit Din on Thursday.
Rabbi, what's a Beit Din?
Oh, a Beit Din is Rabbi Klein, Rabbi Rosenberg, and me. We get together and we ask questions of Danielle, which they answered beautifully, and then we all said, "Welcome to the Jewish people." And then on Sunday, last Sunday, Danielle went to Mayim Chaim and immersed in the mikveh. And so tonight we are so thrilled to welcome you to the Bima to do the final part of your conversion experience. So come on up. Bruchim habaim b'shem Adonai. Blessed are you who come here in God's name. At this sacred and joyous moment, we renew the covenant at Sinai between God and the people of Israel, recalling the words of the prophet Isaiah. Strangers shall join them and shall cleave to the house of Israel. O God, we thank you for your many blessings. We thank you for the truth you have revealed to all humanity. Above all, we thank you for the gift of Torah, which has ever been a light for our path. We recall with reverence and gratitude all those descendants of Abraham and Sarah who have been faithful to you, and those who of their own choice have sought to serve you through the faith and people of Israel. And so I'm going to ask you questions, Danielle, that you know the answers to already. Here we go. Danielle, do you choose to enter the eternal covenant between God and the people Israel and to become a Jew of your own free will?
Yes.
Do you accept Judaism to the exclusion of all other religious faiths and practices?
Yes.
Do you pledge your loyalty to Judaism and to the Jewish people under all circumstances?
Yes.
This is an easy one. Do you promise to establish a Jewish home and to participate actively in the life of the synagogue and of the Jewish community?
Yes.
Which she already does. Do you commit yourself to the pursuit of Torah and Jewish knowledge?
Yes.
And if you and Allison should be blessed with children one day, do you promise to raise them as Jews?
Yes.
Very good. All right. Now I'm going to ask you to read this passage from Ruth, please,
Okay.
right there.
Just this?
Yeah.
Okay. Ruth said, Entreat me not to leave you or to return from following after you. For wherever you go, I will go. Wherever you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God my God. Where you die, I will die, and there will I be buried.
Thank you. If you would rise, please. Danielle, you stand before the open ark and before the commanding presence of the Torah, the Jewish people's most cherished treasure. It has led us on the way and guided us ever since we received it at Sinai. It has been carried during the times of our greatest rejoicing and when we fled from burning synagogues and villages. I now place the Torah in your arms. Hold it from below. Got it? Take it to your heart as you now recite the Shema, the words on the lips of the Jew until the moment of death. the affirmation that has sustained the Jewish people in life since our beginnings. Go ahead.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Beautifully done. You are known by the name Danielle, which means that you are always linked in love to those who gave you life. And from this time forth, you shall also be known within the Jewish community as Yisrael Esther, Mi Beit Avraham v'Sarah. May this name bring respect to you and honor to the Jewish people. We rejoice to welcome into our midst one who willingly and devotedly helps replenish the ranks of our people. As our people have done through the ages, I ask God's blessing on you with these ancient words. Bow your head, please.
Of course.
Yivarech Adonai v'yishmarecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ye'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God's light shine upon you and be gracious to you always. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's presence always surround you and give you the greatest gift of all, the gift of shalom, the gift of peace. And let us all say, Amen. You may be seated. Stay here. My friends, we have been, yeah, it's okay. Good. We can bring that up. It's proof.
Oh,
It's your certificate.
thank you.
Yeah. It is, as I said, a privilege to be a teacher for you. It is a privilege to welcome you into the Temple Albanian community, to welcome your spouse, Allison, to welcome friends. In the short time that Danielle has been a part of our community, you have been so active and involved in Torah study, in services, in softball, in our Purim spiel, where Allison and Danielle were stars. It's not just that you have embraced the Jewish people, and not just that you've embraced Judaism. You've also embraced our community and blessed it with your presence, your intellect, and your desire to learn. We are so blessed by you, and I know that we'll be blessed for many years to come by your family and you. Thank you. And Mazel Tov.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Semen Tova, Mazel Tova, Mazel Tova, Semen Tova, Semen Tova, Mazel Tova, Mazel Tova, Semen Tova, Semen Tova, Mazel Tova, Mazel Tova, Semen Tova, Yehelanu, 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 Ulechol Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulechol Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulechol Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulechol Yisrael. Mazel tov.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Yes. All right. First time wearing a tallit.
Yes.
Also another cause for Mazel tov. Enjoy. All right. All right. Be sure to congratulate Danielle at during our post game oneg. Yeah. No. Okay. Okay. You lead me.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So, Mazel Tov, Danielle. If you were at the beach last week, you heard this song. It's Elul, second week of Elul. We're getting ready for the High Holy Days. This is a song that you're going to hear. Oh, it just went away.
It was right there.
Yes.
Okay, here it is. Okay.
Yes, this is a song that you're going to hear throughout the High Holy Days because it's a part of who we are as Temple Habonim. Chances are at one point, of course, you were not part of this community always. At some point, you were asked by somebody to come be, well, maybe Michelle, who's grown up here, but. We're going to sing this song, and then we're going to invite the members of the committee to put together this beautiful pre-neg to light the candles for us. There is room in here. I think that if we try, we can squeeze ourselves together. Welcome you inside. We are close in here. In fact, we're often tripping over one another as we stumble toward the light. Hold fast to what you believe and let go of all of the fear. Love given generously creates more. Where it appears the space is clear, there's always more room in here. There is hope in here, sometimes just an ember smoldering alone on as the fire slowly dies. And there is hope in here, and I'm trying to remember that just a simple ember can make a roaring flame ignite. Hold fast to what you believe and let go of all of the fear. Love given generously creates more. Where it appears the space is clear, there's always more room in here. There's still room in here. Space is feeling scarce right now. The endless source of love somehow starting to run dry. There's still room in here. We can change our course right now, 'cause deep and endless love can always come from you and I. Hold fast to what you believe and let go of all of the fear. For love given generously creates more. Where it appears the space is clear, there's always more room in here. Especially on page 120, which is where we're going to be.
Page 121.
Yes, there's always more room in here.
I'd like to welcome Doug, Leslie, Anna Kane, Michelle Gonsalves up to light the candles. We're on page 121. So beautiful. And Adina's here as well. That's so good. Thank you, Adina.
Doug, this was your brainchild.
You get to read
the reading on 121. Just pick either reading, not both.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Thank you. Hanu Lehad Mikneh Lehad Mikneh Shel Shabbat.
Before you sit down, I want to thank you, Doug, for bringing this idea to life. Michelle, for spending plenty of hours in the kitchen. Leslie, for going back and forth to all the things that you had to do this week and making a point to make this a priority. Anna, for making sure that our cups got here on time and ordering them because we wouldn't have found it. And Adina, who always helps out in a million different ways, making sure that all of the details are put together. We appreciate all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. David Ortiz is like an honorary member of the Jewish community, don't you think? Yeah. I've always thought so.
$146.
And if you wish to rise, go ahead.
Okay, so we're gonna try something because this is how it works. What are we gonna do? When we sing "Am I Awake" the first time, we're gonna try the wave, starting on this side, going through this side, and then when we do the "Yai Lai" part, we're gonna go back the wave back there, just for a little bit of fun. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Wave back. Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared?
You may be seated. A little tidbits of Jews and baseball that I'll intersperse throughout the service with David. This is just news about Jews and baseball from just this week alone.
News about Jews.
News about Jews.
And we're not going to be playing or singing, so we can put our instruments down
Oh, yeah.
and then just allow all the instruments to be on the ground and not touching it.
It seems like Garrett Stubbs and Max Lazar have a knack for making Jewish baseball history. The Philadelphia Phillies teammates, Philadelphia Phillies, let's go shout out. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. They were teammates who, along with Arizona Diamondbacks slugger Jock Pederson, became the third ever Jewish pitcher, catcher, batter trio last month, and made similar history on Sunday. Unfortunately, the Phillies were getting blown out 10-1 by the Miami Marlins.
Jock Peterson?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So Lazar, pitcher, Stubbs, the catcher, both took the mound for the Phillies. According to the Jewish Baseball Museum, that makes them only the fourth pair of Jewish teammates to pitch for the same team in the same game. The previous duos were, let's hear it, Sandy Koufax and Larry Sherry for the Dodgers, Dave Roberts and Ken Holstrom for the Cubs, and Al Levine and Scott Schoenweiss, who played for the Anaheim Angels. Sunday was Stubbs' fourth pitching appearance this season Let's hear it for all of our Jewish ball players who are making such an impact on the game.
So part of what our religious school starts on Sunday, part of what we say in our religious school
Sunday?
is what
Woohoo!
we're trying, 2 days, we're trying to establish individual and communal Jewish identity. Because it's not enough that you're part of something bigger than yourself, and because you have to have something for your, right? Just like the quote, if I'm not for myself, who will be for me? And so when we sing the Shema on page 152, what we're really saying is there's something beyond us. God is beyond us. And sometimes we do this with the kids, and it's fun to do. And so just with the wave, to be part of something bigger than yourself often can make you feel more connected in a deeper way than you even realized. So I thought maybe we would try this today. So put your finger to your mouth like you're talking to a child. And you're saying, shh. And then you're going to put your hand to your head. You have, or more like this, like I have an idea, because when I can quiet myself, especially me, I can hear other people and have better ideas. So I go, And when all of this makes a little more sense, shh,
Seated. We're going to do the Ve'ahavta on page 154. And remember, friends, that Judaism, like baseball, is about L'dor V'dor. It's about passing it on to the next generation, as we have done for thousands of generations. And when we say the words, V'shinantam levanecha, you shall teach your children, indeed, that is what tonight, what Sunday is, and what our community has always been about, is making sure that the next generation will be here to celebrate and love Adonai. We pray together. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha vishinantam levanecha v'dibarta ba'am v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'lechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot beinenecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai V'tem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lehiot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Well, David, why don't you read the next one? The next really fun passage right
I feel
there.
like we're the commentators.
I know.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Rabbi. Last Friday, after the
No,
New York...
no, I don't want you to read this one. This one is not as good. This one.
But that one's about the Mets.
I know, but
I had
it's...
this big clap planned. And
I know, but it's all about the misuse of Hebrew, and I don't want
Yeah.
by a non-Jewish person. So, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
this one's about the Mets, too.
Exactly.
Just a
right.
few days later, Yeshiva University President Rabbi Ari Berman threw out the ceremonial first pitch at the Mets game on Sunday at Citi Field. And the following night, as the Mets took on the Blue Jays in Toronto, 97-year-old Holocaust survivor Irene Kurtz threw out the first pitch to Blue Jays infielder and Team Israel alum Spencer Horwitz.
A beautiful moment representing both New York, the epicenter of American Jewish life, and Toronto, the epicenter of Canadian Jewish life. We sing together on page 158 as we speak of our redemption, sing of our redemption with the Micha Mocha.
Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Clap, 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 clap. Ya da da da, ya da 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 da. Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, $160, $161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. Hashkivenu Adonai Elohim. Hashkivenu Leshalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. We're going to sing that last part one more time, but I want you to close your eyes. Imagine you're laying in the outfield of a baseball stadium. Smell of the grass, how do they keep the grass so nice? Somebody's looking out for it. Many people. Day after day, nourishing it, watching over it, taking care of it like a parent does to a child who can't take care of themselves. And that's how it gets to be so nice, because someone is actually really looking out for it. So stay in that field, take a deep breath, and sing. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
So, here's what I want you to do. If you have a book in your hand, put it to the side. Put it to the side. Figure out a place. Figure out a place. Put it like if you're just at the end of the rows.
Jewish tip.
You don't need this. You don't need your books.
Shomer means to guard. And there's actually a baseball team called
The Guardians, also known as the Shomrim. So, when instead of doing the usual like this or woo, I want you all to stand up as you did before, wave like for Ed HaShabbat, but you can't do it if your book's in your hand. So no, sit. So when we do Ed HaShabbat, it's like up and then down again. Got it? So we'll kind of lean into this, but you can't have your books in your hand because otherwise you won't be able to. And if you watch Danielle and Allison, they actually started doing this. I know, some months ago. And it's like, I've always loved it. It's so great. So now we'll do it en masse. Let's go.
Vishamru B'nei Yisrael Et HaShabbat L'Asor
Exactly.
Et HaShabbat L'Doratam B'Ridon.
One time.
Vishamru B'nei Yisrael Et HaShabbat L'Asor Et HaShabbat L'Doratam B'Ridon. Beini u'bein Israel, oti leolam, oti leolam, oti leolam. Veshamru b'nei Israel et HaShabbat l'asod et HaShabbat ledoratam b'ridolam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, Asa Adonai et Hashamayim v'et haaretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat l'asod et HaShabbat ledoratam b'ridolam. Uvayom hashvi Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash. I'd like to hope that out there somewhere where Jews are praying all over the world tonight, people are having as much fun as this group of people is having in this sanctuary, and probably you at home watching, even if it's later than
I was thinking the folks at home are like the Wrigley Field folks who would sit on their terraces and watch the game from beyond the ivy. Those are those people. So I hope you're having as much fun as we are. I know that you are. And we love that you're tuning in and joining us for this. All right.
Before we go to
before we get started.
164, we're going to be on 164. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Have you ever been to a baseball game and heard people cheering on a team? Right? Sometimes people also kind of cheer against a team. I don't like the Phillies. Adam, I'm sorry. I do not like the Phillies. They are our rival. I'm a Mets fan. We don't like the Phillies. But that doesn't mean I need to actively boo when he cheers. Both things can be true. You can be a Phillies fan, I can be a Mets fan. We can all respect. I see a Yankee fan here tonight. I'm just saying. We can all respect each other's differences. And just to pull it back to some more serious pieces, we're really going to be challenged in the next 70 days and after to respect each other's differences and find ways to get along. And hopefully we can use this silly model as a way to do that, because I think we're capable.
Please rise.
Adonai sefatai tifta ufi agite hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Page 166. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'zocher chasdei avot v'imahot, u'mevi geula livnei b'neihem, l'ma'an shemo b'ahava. Melech ozer u'moshiach u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'ezrat Sarah. 168, Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atara v'hoshia, morid hata, mechalkel chayim b'chesed, mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim verofei cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, Lishenei Avar Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot Umidom Melach Melech Menit Umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman atah l'hachayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechaye HaKol. 170. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el ha'kadosh.
You may be seated.
So, maybe things are easy for you, learning other languages and such. I listened to Yiddish, and it sounded like Mandarin Chinese to me. So in case you think things come easily to maybe me, no. But Rabbi was nice enough to write it out for me, and then I wrote it in my own terms. And so, we're going to try it, I think a few times.
Yeah.
This is Take Me Out to the Ball Game in Yiddish. And the version that I found was Mandy Patinkin singing it at the 92nd Street Y, which was kind of cool. So.
All right, but remember that even when we're doing this, that you need to say eins, zwei, drei strikes are out.
Drei strikes are
There's a
out.
dry.
Wait, how does it?
Probably dry.
Dry?
Eins, zwei, drei strikes und ois. Okay, here we go.
Ois.
Ois.
O-Y.
Ois.
In capital letters, S in small.
Ois.
Ois. Like one oi, many ois. Okay. I think.
All right, ready?
And let's go a little slow. So that,
Yeah, okay.
Nimm mich
Mit zu der Ballgame, zum Eulen lo mir doch gehen. Kauf mir die nicht schlecht und Cracker Jack. Will ich kein Mal von dort nicht weg. Geht's sein Mut, et der Ballspieler. Es passt nicht, als man verspielt. Weil es ist 1, 2, 3 Strikes und euch bei der Baseballspiel.
Should we do it again?
Let's do it again, but let's do it for them and then they'll repeat it back to us. Yeah, here we go. All right.
Nimm
Mich mit zu der Ballgame.
Nimm mich zu. Nimm
Mich mit zu der Ballgame. Zum Eulen lo mir doch gehen. Zum Eulen lo mir doch gehen. Zum Eulen lo mir doch gehen. Kauf mir die nicht schlecht und Cracker Jack.
Kauf mir die. Kauf mir die Niesler und Cracker Jack.
Und Cracker Jack.
Yes.
Oh no. Will ich kein Mal von dort nicht weg. That's a tough one. Will ich kein Mal von
I translate it as fun.
dort nicht weg. Jetzt sei Mut vor, no, die Ballspieler,
Es passt
nicht als man verspielt,
I guess you say
verspielt,
You gotta say spielt.
spielt,
Spielt.
verspielt. Okay, here we go. Now you know it. Weil is 1, 2, 3 Strikes. Und euch bei der Baseballspiel. Good job. Thanks, Mandy.
We really stumbled through that one together.
I know, that was great. By the way, on the album of Mama Lotion that he does, which I highly recommend, I was listening to it the other day, and he does this gorgeous, gorgeous version of Paul Simon's American Tune. But in Yiddish, it just comes across in this way of all these folks coming in through Ellis Island, which is just absolutely stunning. So if you have a chance, go on YouTube or stream it or whatever. But the other thing that happens is that the Take Me Out to the Ball Game in Yiddish is also interpolated with God Bless America, with Irving Berlin's God Bless America in Yiddish, which is also the stunning association of baseball and America, which I think is really tonight's theme. So if you have a chance, Mandy Patinkin, whose brother Mark lives right here in Providence. Yeah, and there's a plan. There's a plan out there. It's kind of a, you know what it is? It's really a concept of a plan. That's what it really is. And that's what it is. But of the invitation to Mark Patinkin to speak about his views about Israel here. So we'll get that going.
We're going to eventually be on
It's a
page
concept.
178 for a prayer for peace. But as we lead into the prayer for peace, just take a second and think to yourself about something you're grateful for in this moment. I can tell you that I was at a board meeting with 24 of your faithful, hardworking board, making things happen. I saw Leslie lead her first board meeting as her president, and I heard discourse in really great ways, and I was grateful for that. Think about what makes you feel grateful in this moment. And we'll be on 178 for Shalom Rav. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam.
They know it.
Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol ed ub'chol sha'ah b'shlomecha. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
Please take a few moments now for silent prayer and for the meditations in your heart.
Page 180. May the one who makes peace in the high heavens make peace for us, for all Israel, and all who inhabit the earth. Amen. When I was thinking about how we would play Oseh Shalom, I think God spoke to me. It was a little bit of a ridiculous way to speak to me. It wasn't about anything serious, but God said to play this. So the words are, sweet peace will come. Say it. Sweet peace will come. Bringing us closer to the good. Bringing us closer to the good. The good. The good. Look and you'll find. We can all be understood. Sweet peace will come. Bringing us closer to the good.
The good. The good.
Look and you'll find all be understood. But now I'm listening to folks. They don't believe what. That's a little lower. Let's get a little higher. Listening to folks. They don't believe what I do, and I'm not so sure they ever will. The pieces of God that live inside each other, help me believe that. Help me believe that this world's still looking for good. They're looking for hands, touching hands, reaching out. We need peace, we need you. We need peace, we need you. Sweet peace will come. Sweet peace will come. Bring us closer to good. Bring us closer to the good.
Good, the good, the good.
Look and you'll find.
Fine.
We can all be understood. Oh, say shalom.
Bimroma.
Say shalom aleinu.
Aleinu.
Ve'al Yisrael.
Yisrael.
Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel.
Tevel.
Sweet Caroline.
Bam.
Good times never seem so good.
So good.
And I've been inclined
Bam.
to believe they never would.
A member of the tribe, Neil Diamond.
I just wanted to add in, the reason that spoke to me so loudly is oftentimes when we think about peace, we think about being so serious. That's exhausting. And it doesn't bring out the best in me, for sure. And I doubt it brings out the best in anybody else. But the second we can realize that we are all God's children, that we all can be silly and bring us closer to the source of life, to God, just like children, right? We can have some fun with it. And so I hope we can have some fun with each other throughout this year. Yeah, in community.
Speaking of Neil Diamond for a moment, many of you, or some of you, or maybe just a couple of you have seen The Jazz Singer, his remake of Al Jolson's film that Neil Diamond made. If you haven't seen it, please don't. It's really not good at all. But he wanted to tell that story, and I'm
If anybody
glad
knows movies,
he did.
it's Rabbi.
I'm glad he did. Although you can see him in Keeping Up with the Steins, which is a really nice film about bar mitzvahs in Los Angeles. So, and he plays at the party at the end. So, but now we have to be a little bit more serious. It is our prayer for healing, and in that prayer for our community, we are thinking about tonight Parker Curry, who is Bonnie Jaffe's grandson. Hope he's feeling better. George Berman, who's doing great. Bonnie Jaffe also doing much better. Our friend Doris Katz, of course, that Jerry and Leslie visited this week and is doing much better. Emily Haw, Carol Knopf, we're thinking of you. Madeline Cantor, David Messing, and my mom, whose brace was taken off her leg, so she will be able to come to her granddaughter's wedding on Thursday that I am officiating at. Oh my goodness. So, yay for my mom. And it's our healing prayers that have done it, so thank you for that. If there are people in the community that you are remembering and thinking about right now who are in need of healing, please say their names louder within your heart as my eyes meet yours. Thank you. Thank you. And Danielle, your mom. Yeah. Who broke her leg. Yeah, so we're thinking of Danielle's mom. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And so we say, Baruch atah Adonai rofei hacholim, blessed are you, God, healer of the sick. We turn to page 371 as we pray the Mishaberach.
Talking a lot about community tonight. We had a loss of a parent in a religious school. In our religious school this past week, I saw a lot of people from our community show up to the funeral. It bonded a lot of us closer. We all find community in different ways. Sometimes it's happy moments. Sometimes it's sad moments. They say the sad moments are coming in some way, shape, or form. So lean into the happy as much as you possibly can. To that end, don't hold back on your Shehechianus. I know you all have something to add. And go ahead, Soren, yeah.
Oh, that's excellent. For those of you who may not know, Soren is a skater, and very, very excited. How has it been so far? Very good. I want to also add that roller derby, which is a sport that I watched when I was growing up, back in the late 60s and early 70s, it's also been notable in these last months for being really, really super open to the LGBT community, and particularly the trans community. And we're very proud that Soren, you're participating in not only a fun and physical sport, but also a sport that is really, really open and inclusive. So thank you for that. All right, and I just want to say Mazel Tov to Danielle, the Shechianu, we welcome her to the Jewish people, which is a Shechianu for all of us, actually.
And Jim, we're happy that you're here. We're grateful that you're here. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm very grateful to all of you for making my best friends feel welcome, safe, included, and fulfilled. And thank you for letting me see that develop over the months.
Jim, it is our pleasure.
Jim,
Totally our pleasure.
Thank you for bringing Bubbles to the softball game.
Oh.
We got a pretty cool picture of me and Molly dancing in the bubbles. So you can enjoy that at another time. Before we go to everybody else, because Diane's too humble, Diane is here. Yes, you, Diane. Leads the Ruach Singers, who have been a staple of our temple since I've been here. And they sung at the Vendata Society this past Sunday. And I know that you do a lot of work to bring peace into this world and to do it with grace and with kindness and with positivity and inclusivity. And I just wanted to call that out because it's something I admire about you and I appreciate, and I know you weren't going to say it on your own. So, you can hear the Ruach Singers.
Kol Nidre, right here.
All right.
Don't just come for the liturgy. Not just that.
Don't just come for the looking inside yourself.
Exactly, for the introspection. Come for the music. I know that Molly had her hand up. Molly, go ahead, share with us.
Where'd you go? You went where? Sail Newport.
Oh my gosh.
Is that a sailing boat?
Oh, wonderful. Did you have fun, Molly? Oh, good. Molly went on a field trip to Sail Newport.
Can't tell if you're tired.
I think she's very tired. I think she's just tuckered. She's had a big day.
It was a big prenag.
Yeah. And Molly's younger sister.
Scarlett, go ahead.
Go ahead. You started swimming? Very exciting. Where are you swimming? At St. George School. Wonderful. All right. Nice. We are going to keep track of your progress, Scarlett, so that we know how you're doing.
You know what they say, just keep swimming.
They do say that. Yeah, that's a Jewish thing to say, by the way. Luna, go ahead. Oh my gosh, yay. When is your first game?
Tomorrow, but I had preseason tournament.
Nice.
How did that go? Like the NCAA, they have preseason tournaments. It's very, very good.
We have to live vicariously through you.
I know.
You got to
That is
let
what
us
I
know
do.
the details.
And I'm very super excited about having both Luna and Nora in my Brit Mitzvah class this coming year, beginning Sunday.
Woo!
Thank goodness they have games on Shabbat. No, I'm just kidding. Michelle.
My dad had a birthday this week.
Oh, way to go, Bob. Yay. Bob, you want to tell us how old?
Old.
No. 82. Mazel tov.
I see you.
May of Isrim. May of Isrim.
May you live to 120.
All right.
As long as it's...
Sophia. You lost a tooth?
I made
That
that
is
same
great.
joke last week.
Sophia, when did you lose the tooth? At school. Did you find it there? And you put it under your pillow? It fell into your hand? Very Sophia. Very Sophia. That's great. That's great. Mazel tov on losing a tooth. That is so nice. Yay. Alex.
My favorite book came out with the sequel, so now I have two favorite books.
Oh my gosh. Is the sequel as good as the first?
So far it is.
Oh, good. And tell us what the title is.
It's Somewhere Beyond the Sea by T.J. Klune.
Nice. Very nice. Excellent. Let's see. It's a Bobby Darin song. So yeah. Yeah. Excellent. Thank you so much, Alex. Soren, part 2.
Unrelated, but my first mixed football game at some point over the weekend.
Okay.
I won my first mixed football.
You did? Soren, I must confess something. I have known you some years now, had no idea that you were interested in football or fantasy football, by the way.
Just so he's not sure when it is that the real people play the real football.
Right. That's what I thought.
There's time to learn.
Okay, well, maybe you'll share your team with me so I can maybe advise you. Okay.
I'll share that last...
David plays fantasy football as well.
I do, with
Yeah.
with a bunch of other Jewish professionals. Yeah.
Wait.
True. I have a couple.
Wait.
No. Oh.
We still, we're good. Sarah.
Sarah, you go first.
Yeah.
I'm going to football for the first time in 5 years, and my will be in the Bay Area for the first time.
Wow. All right. Nisia Tova,
You got
safe
invited
travels.
along, Mike.
That's really, Mike, have a good time.
Are you guys going to
All
wear
right.
your matching softball shirts?
All right, good.
Are you going to wear your matching softball shirts on the plane? Yeah, I thought so.
That'd be super cute.
Yes.
All right. All right, go ahead, David.
Our teachers had a teacher meeting for the first time in a really long time this past Sunday. It was a lot of fun to get together with some of whom are here. Brenda and Anna are both here. And it was just a really great time to be with people who I care about and who are my friends and my cohort of people helping to lead the charge of the religious school. and I don't know if I'm as excited. I'm going into my 10th year of teaching here, and I think it's the most excited I've ever been for a school year. There's a lot of good energy, just like there is tonight, and there's a lot of good stuff. I'll also say that my daughter Ariel made the B team. Apparently 6th graders either make the C team or the B team, not the A team because that's for the 7th graders. But she made the better field hockey team, which was a big deal. So I heard my wife go, woo, very loudly, very late at night, so.
Very nice. All right, so this Shechenu is a very special one for us tonight because we would now like to invite up the Temple Habanim softball team so that we may honor them. And so all of you come up. If you've been playing softball with us,
our team name is called the Builders. If you don't know, Habonim means the Builders.
And Barry Newman, you too.
It also
Barry
means
Newman.
the children.
Come on, you're coming up too.
I love how you thought you weren't going to come, Barry.
Yeah, really, like.
Barry was the commissioner of the league for many years.
And is a coach. Right. That's right.
Oh, I'll have to hear more about the players then.
All right. So come on up. Here comes Teddy. He's got his keep on. That's good. Rip that right off, Teddy. There you go.
No, it's like, why is this on my head, Mom?
In case you don't know or you haven't been to a game, oftentimes little ones like Teddy will be dancing and having fun. You'll see older little ones taking care of the little ones. Many of you have played at different points in different seasons, and it's just such a great feel, the camaraderie that we have with each other. And I think this season added more camaraderie more than ever.
Absolutely. Special thanks to Adam Greenman, our team manager and captain. Yeah. And Adam, can you tell the congregation how we did this year, please?
Be careful what you wish for. I actually don't remember our record. I think 4-6, but we made it to the semifinals. Had what I would consider the best game we've ever played in my 5 or 6 years on the team, and we lost. But it was the best game we played in quite a while, and just very, very excited for next year.
Yeah.
If I can just add one more piece, one of the things I love about our community specifically is that, I don't know about the other teams, but we really lean into the inclusivity factor. We don't play everybody who's the best people all the time. Everybody gets a place. And that game that we won to get into the semifinals, there was a contribution by every single player in a really meaningful way. And it just really goes to show, like, when you lean into the things that matter to you, good things can come from it.
Let's sing.
Page 648, if you'd like to follow along. Thank you, God, for getting us here, keeping us here, and allowing us to experience another first together in community.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu b'zman hazeh. Thank you all. Thank you, Teddy.
Page 586.
No, I have a sermon to give.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Not that time. You're so accustomed to the beach these days. All right. You know what? I gotta take my hat off. Can't give a sermon with a hat. It's not acceptable. All right. My first baseball memory happened in August of 1966 when my father took me to Yankee Stadium to see the Yankees play the Minnesota Twins. The game was in baseball's dog days during a mediocre year. Mickey Mantle was near the end of his career, and after decades of success, the Yankees were in the midst of a rare franchise slump. Still, it was my first baseball game, and I was very excited. I had never been to a sporting event before, and the only images of baseball I had ever seen was on our little black and white television set. And when I walked into the stands, I was stunned by the majesty of the stadium, its cathedral-like white pillars rising up to meet the bluest sky, the vibrant green expanse of the outfield, and the pungent smells of hot dogs and peanuts and beer. No one in our house had even ever had a beer. Everything was so big. When we got to our seats, my father told me it was Old Timers Day and that many of the Yankee greats of the past would be introduced. I remember the cheers for Whitey Ford, the ovation for Phil Rizzuto, whose name I knew because he was the Yankees announcer on Channel 11. And then, when the public address announcer, Bob Shepard, if you've ever been to Yankee Stadium at a certain period of time, you know that voice because it was a very special voice. He called out number 5. Thousands of people stood as one to watch the Yankee Clipper, Joe DiMaggio, come out of the dugout and run onto the field. My father turned to me and said, "This is why we came, to see DiMaggio wear his uniform one more time." As he applauded and cheered with everyone else, I glanced over at him and saw tears welling up in his eyes, a sight I had never seen before. It is difficult to overstate how important Joltin' Joe was to my father. Babe Ruth retired in 1935, and as Lou Gehrig was entering the twilight of his career, the Yankees were not playing their best. But when my dad turned 8, DiMaggio joined the Yankees as a rookie in 1936, and he transformed the team, leading them to the World Series win that very same year. In 1941, when my father turned 13, DiMaggio got a hit in 56 consecutive games, a record that most people believe will never be broken. DiMaggio was everything every boy in the Bronx dreamed of being: graceful, charismatic, talented, handsome, and for the cherry on top, he played for the world's greatest team, the Yankees. For my father, baseball was more than just a game. It was the escape from his parents' loveless marriage. His father, a feckless man who gambled away most of what he earned. His mother, pregnant at age 16 with him. Her heart irreparably weakened by a childhood bout of scarlet fever. These pages are very thick. But a short subway ride from his home in Parkchester, Yankee Stadium became his house of worship, DiMaggio his chief rabbi. I wish I could tell you that he passed on his love for the game to me, that we had one of those hazy, nostalgic, Lador Vador, father-to-son baseball relationships like in Field of Dreams. I wish I could tell you that we played catch in our front yard all the time, or that baseball on TV was part of our home's evening background noise, like it was at Annie's Aunt Bee's in St. Louis, where a Cardinals game was always on. But none of that was true. Baseball gave my father a place to dream about, a place beyond his family's cramped apartment, a place where he didn't have to be a peacekeeper, a place that was pure and thrilling and touched by DiMaggio's obvious sainthood. My dad didn't pass on his love for the game of baseball. He passed on his love for what baseball meant to him. Like Judaism, it's not an easy game to love. The game moves at, shall we say, a glacial pace. And until very recently, when rule changes designed to speed up the game were implemented, one never knew how long a game would last. Like Judaism, baseball has no clock, and its timeless nature is part of its rhythm and countercultural appeal. Like Judaism, it has obscure rules that are difficult to understand, such as the infield fly rule, which prohibits a player from attempting to cheat by intentionally dropping a pop fly. As in Judaism, baseball built a fence around a fence to preclude even the possibility of an attempted transgression. The game is mostly an individual one. The pitcher faces a batter in a one-on-one contest, but it also requires collective responsibility in that the team's defense must work together to achieve its goal. I hope that sounds familiar. The individual, the collective, the community. Okay. And baseball, unlike the other major team sports, is demonstrably egalitarian. You don't have to be tall or fast or aggressive or physically imposing to succeed. What you do have to have is supreme hand-eye coordination. Everyone agrees that hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do in sports. An intense desire and the willingness to practice. As my other grandfather used to say in Yiddish, you have to have Zitvleis, that is, perseverance beyond any reasonable standard. Jews have been baseball players since the sport began, largely because we applied the same lessons on the ball field as we did for Talmud study. Even though sports are inherently meaningless, every sport has a larger cultural meaning. Football represents our nation's darkest impulses. The game is an ultra-violent contest for land and territory. It is controlled warfare on Sunday afternoons. Basketball is our nation's urban experience with its jazzy creativity, concrete landscape, and racial struggle always at its center. We share our hockey experience with our Canadian neighbors, hearkening back to the insular culture of New England and the Northern Plains, as rural farm boys learned how to skate and check each other on frozen ponds in their backyards. But baseball occupies our most hallowed American myths. When you have a couple of spare hours, watch the Jewish director Barry Levinson's iconic film, The Natural, based on Jewish author Bernard Malamud's novel. The film captures baseball's ethos, corruption, and poetry. Nothing feels as American as seeing Robert Redford play catch in the waving golden wheat fields of Kansas in the 1920s. Its wide open spaces evoking the unlimited potential of the American century. Nothing feels as American as Redford's Midwestern ideals curdling to the darker forces of corruption, money, and capitalism. Nothing feels as American as his ultimate redemption, his inherent goodness winning at the end. And nothing feels as American as baseball's guiding metaphor, the search for home. In other sports, you get to the end zone, you make a basket, you score a goal. But in baseball, you have to travel in a circle in order to come back and be safe at home. It is the story of our nation. People from other places, refugees, slaves, immigrants, who came to this land voluntarily, involuntarily, to make their dreams come true. And for the Jews, the best wandering immigrants who ever lived, all we have ever wanted is the promise of America. All we have ever strived for is the central theme of this beautiful, difficult, timeless game: to be safe at home. Shabbat Shalom. See, I started out with a different sermon, and then I said to David, I'm not liking what I'm writing. I said, I think I'm going to write about my father. And he said, you should do that. And I was like, okay. So thanks, David, for encouraging me.
That was a really good one. I really like that one.
All right. So now you can turn to page 586. We're going to rise for the Elena. עלינו לשבח לאדון
הכל, ותקדו ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, בגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. At this time, we remember those who died in recent days, those whose families are in the midst of Shiva and Shloshim. We also remember those who died at this time in years past, those whose yurtzites are observed on this Shabbat. If you should hear the name of a loved one, please rise so we may acknowledge your status as a mourner. At the conclusion of the list, we will all rise together in support of those who mourn. Our hearts are very heavy tonight as we remember Ben Russell, a friend of so many young people in our congregation and young parents in particular. Ben's sudden death has rocked our community, and our hearts go out to Andrea and her children as they mourn. Ben was the beloved husband of Andrea Russell, the beloved father of Stephen and Eliana Russell, the beloved son of Wesley and Paulette Russell, who has not only just buried one child, but has buried two, as their son passed, their oldest son passed, or their second oldest son passed away many years ago. The beloved brother and brother-in-law of Christopher and Mary Ann Russell and Laura and Dean Rice, the beloved son-in-law of Robert and Vicki Wiseman, and beloved brother-in-law of Carolyn Wiseman. We remember Helen Stam, dear family friend of Adina Davies. Lynn Robbins, beloved friend of Denise Glickman. And Frances Terry Allen, beloved grandmother of Emily Levy. This week, our American heart grieved for one of the iconic actors of not just our generation, but many generations. James Earl Jones passed away. I was fortunate enough to see James Earl Jones on Broadway playing in the iconic role of protagonist of August Wilson's Fences, which was all about the prejudice suffered by black baseball players in our history. But of course, James Earl Jones also played very many roles, and for all of you, certainly being the voice of Darth Vader was perhaps the most famous of all, and people will miss him at the age of 93. We also recall those who died at this time in years past, those whose yurtzites are observed on this Shabbat. We remember Florence Matasso, beloved grandmother of Adina Davies, great-grandmother of Ellie and Owen Davies. Ronnie Newman, beloved spouse and wife of Barry Newman, beloved friend to our community. Abraham Poses, beloved father of Roy Poses and father-in-law of June Poses. Joseph David Stulman, beloved father of Luciano Stulman, father-in-law of Karen Stulman, grandfather of Melanie Stulman. Harold Schechtman, beloved father of Joe Schechtman, beloved father-in-law of Lauren Schechtman. Marvin Gibber, beloved father of Lauren Schechtman and father-in-law of Joe Schechtman. And Beverly Wolfson, beloved mother of Ivan Wolfson, mother-in-law of Diane Menazia. Beloved grandmother of Tamar and Rafi. Are there any other names for those who are observing a yurtzeit on this Shabbat? And so as one family, we rise in support of those who mourn and turn to page 598 as we pray together the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah b'alma divrach hirutei v'amlich malchutei b'chayei echon uv'yom echon uv'chayei l'chol beit Yisrael ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei t'kudusha b'richu le'elam yinkol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata dam iran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlam Rabbah min Shamaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, and let us say amen.
Please be seated. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol
Don't say your name.
yoshvei
It's my pleasure now to introduce the president of Temple Habonim, Leslie Katz, for welcome and announcements.
Welcome, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. What a night, right?
Shabbat shalom.
This was a great night, and it wouldn't have been possible without Doug's idea that he brought forth to the rabbi, and all the people who helped make it possible, and all the people who worked tonight, grilling and setting up and cleaning up. It's just been wonderful. Thank you very much. I also want to thank our greeters tonight, Ethan Stein, Heidi Brousseau, and Jennifer Schultz. Torah studies back tomorrow.
It is indeed.
10 o'clock, the link is in the e-blast.
We will have a non-baseball related Torah study.
Also tomorrow are the Habonim Hikers and Walkers, which will be at 10 a.m., and I don't think we need a rain date. I think tomorrow's nice weather.
If I may for a second, we moved the meeting place to Mount Hope Farm.
Okay, the meeting place is now going to be at 10 o'clock?
Right.
10 o'clock at Mount Hope Farm. And let's see, continuing with our theme of Jews in Baseball Weekend, tomorrow night, join us for Havdalah and a baseball-themed movie called The Life and Times of Hank Greenberg, which will then be followed by a discussion led by Rabbi Howard and Adam Greenman. And Sunday is the first day of religious school. Woohoo! Excuse me? Bagels are ordered. We begin with a bagel breakfast at 9 o'clock, followed by tefillah at 9:30, And then at 11 o'clock, we're going to have our new member open house, prospective member open house, in conjunction with the children's author, Richard Michelson, who wrote the book Lipman Pike, which is a PJ Library book. And the open house will be from 11 to 12:30, and we also will have a surprise, an ice cream truck.
Oh, it's a surprise.
I think the cat's out of the bag. Cat's out of the bag.
Surprise.
Just when you're there on Sunday, just like, oh, it's ice cream trucks. It's like, we'll feel better if you do that.
The Jewish Alliance is embarking on their strategic planning process, and they want to hear from us. So our feedback will help them better understand the challenges facing our community and the hopes we all share for our future. The information collected will be used to guide the Alliance's work over the next several years by allowing them to build a plan that responds directly to the communities served. And the link to fill out the survey is in this week's e-blast. And the last thing is, if you could just put your books back in the cabinet on your way out, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Leslie.
You can obviously feel the energy in the room. It's palpable, right? Just a reminder, there's no substitute for being here in person. We love it when you tune in online, and we love it even more when you're able to be here with us in person. There's something special and magical when all of us are here together, when we can hear each other's voices and feed off of each other's energy. And so that's my plea. We're in Elul. We're doing some work on ourselves and work as a community. And I think there's a real opportunity for this community to have something really special grow from already special, great stuff right now.
Absolutely. Tell your Jewish friends how much fun you had.
And bring everybody. Bring anybody you want. Right. Bring friends with you.
Exactly. All right. Let's do Kiddush Shemotzi. Kids, or if you're young at heart.
Young at heart.
Come on up. And there are probably kids in the social hall.
Please, Malcolm, will you please? Ethan's going to come. Right?
Okay. Here come Nora and Luna. That's good. All right.
Or Ethan's not coming.
Your Crane Lake thing going on. Yay. All right, Wes. Up to you, bud.
Come on, Ethan. Come on for us. There you go.
Come on. Come on, bud.
I'll tell you, there's nothing like the Jewish guild. Thanks, Ethan. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Isabel, you want to come up? Oh, there you go. That's the spirit. Yeah, Isabel has her Boston Celtics thing. Good. Okay.
Same region.
I know. Exactly. All right. Soren. For the win. Kiddush. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei b'ri hagafen. Amen. Chaim.
Grape juice.
Thank you. All right. So I've not seen this. Oh my gosh, look at this. Jacob Breyer has outdone, right? Outdone themselves here, yes. Thank you.
Wait, is it a ball? It's
a baseball and a bat.
I thought in Judaism we call it a bot.
I don't even know if the drum would be. I can't do the same.
Set myself up for that one.
Okay. You know what? Ellie, you want to come on up? Excellent. Come on up.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Play ball.
Teavo. Do you want to take a
That was funny.
Good.
That was funny.
That was good. Oh, Brandon, you did it? That's very nice. You want to do it from the ball? Okay, go ahead. All right. It's kind of like a very It's green. It's green. It's blue. All right. All right. Who's going to take it? Molly, you want to take it? Oh, you're going to have some more? Okay, good. All right. That's the spirit, Molly. All right. Kids, just come on up here. And yeah, good. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you go first. Take this one.
Take the ball, please.
Yay. All right.
So as we take the challah, I'll share a little bit about the rabbi inspired me tonight with his sermon. I didn't know where he was going with it, but the idea of going home is just perfect. When we talk about renewal and returning to Shuvah, we return to ourselves again and again and again. When we sing Lechi Lach, right? You know the song Lechi Lach? Lech Lecha means go to yourself. Each High Holy Days, we're hoping to get back onto track. When we fall off, like in yoga, you fall off, get back in, right? There's different opportunities. When you make mistakes, own up to those mistakes and you try again and you get better. And one of those mistakes that our world continues to make, our country continues to make, is forgetting how powerful all of us are together. And so, this song has always spoken to me. It's called Home. So your part goes like this. Oh, try that with me. Oh, next part. Oh, you try it. Your turn. You try it. That's your part. Hold on to me as we go, as we roll down this unfamiliar road. Although this way is stringing us along, just know you're not alone. We're gonna make this place your home. Oh, settle down, it'll all be clear. Don't pay no mind to the demons that fill you with fear. The troubles, they might knock you down. If you are lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. Gonna make this place your home. Yes, your turn. That sounds pretty. Let's try with some claps. Oh, yes, settle down, it'll all be clear. Don't pay no mind to the demons, they fill you with fear. And the troubles, they might knock you down. If you are lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. Gonna make this place your home. Everybody together. Feel the power of community one more time. know you're not alone. We're gonna make this place your home.
Thanks to all our baseball committee for doing such a fabulous job. Thanks to David for doing such a fabulous job. And everybody, we'll see you tomorrow for Torah study, tomorrow night for Havdalah and the movie Life and Times of Hank Greenberg. Have a great weekend. Shabbat Shalom.